Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Delali Frankaute. If it's your first time here, subscribe to the channel. Like, if you enjoy this content, don't forget to say hi in the comment section and also share for everybody to enjoy. Today, we're going to talk about the playoff, the final stage of Qatar 2022 for Africa. We now know it's time for us to separate the boys from the men. It's time for us to decide who represents Africa at the world stage. The draw happened not long ago. African countries now know who they're going to play. So I'm going to run you through the countries and the playoff. Fortunately for us, we've been joined by my colleague Jan Pofu Jr., who is a senior sports journalist in Ghana. You will not be happy that I said he's a senior sports journalist, but he will help us break it down. He has a lot of knowledge in the African football, and he can help us know who stands a chance of qualifying. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. So welcome back, guys. Now, as I said earlier, we are going to talk about the playoff to the World Cup, that's Qatar 2022. Fortunately, we've been joined by Jan Pofu, who's going to help us break it down. So, yeah, pleasure and welcome. Thank you for joining us too as well.
Thank you so much for inviting me as well. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Awesome. We love it. And so we're going to talk about the playoff, but before that, Egypt will be playing Senegal, Cameroon will be playing Algeria, Ghana will be playing host to Nigeria in the first game. DR Congo will be playing Morocco, and Mali will also be hosting Tunisia. Yeah. Before we go into details of it, how do you make of this particular draw?
Well, it's a cracking draw. Well, as much as people love the more competitive African teams to be at the World Cup, well, definitely we have to separate the boys from the men, and it'll be a game more about tactics. It will be games more about, it goes beyond just football pitches, because there are rivalries in there, and then the rivalries will settle the score for a lot of countries. So, and then there are countries who have history beating other countries, and that's what we are here to separate, because as a World Cup, certain countries deserve to be there. Not deserve on merit, but on paper. Certain countries, looking at what they've performed or what they've done in the last 2-3 years, everyone is stepping them to be at the World Cup to represent Africa. It's about African representation. We all want the Algerians, we all want the Cameroons to be at the African Cup of Nations, but as a stand, it won't be like that. It will be one for one. One will be in, one will be out, and this is what you have. This is what you take. This is the very, very first time 5 African countries will be representing at the African Cup of Nations. So it's massive for us. In previous edition, we had little, but this time in Qatar, I think we have more representation. Perhaps increase our chances of winning the African Cup of Nations, or the World Cup, or the World Cup, or getting to a good stage, which is a semi-final, or even harnessing the trophy.
I think if you look at this playoff, when you look at it, it looks like an African Cup of Nations finals, or this can be a tournament on its own. If you ask me, if you look at the pairings and the games that are in there, you hardly get fixtures like this. Trust me, you hardly get a fixture between Ghana and Nigeria. You hardly get a fixture between Egypt and Senegal. You hardly get a fixture between Cameroon and Algeria. Trust me, and it looks like this can even be a separate tournament that can attract a lot of people. I think you started. Let's go straight into the fixtures, the games itself. Let's start from Egypt versus Senegal. If you look at Egypt, others say that it's just unfortunate that either Mohamed Salah or Sadio Mane, one of them will be making it to the World Cup, and they all deserve to be there. Let's look at it. How tough is that particular fixture, looking at everything at hand?
Egypt versus Senegal will be tough, and well, especially because the two-legged tie will be very tough. The Egyptians are very impressive at home. Then the Senegalese are also on their apart from the African Cup of Nations, where they have not really turned up to the party. I feel they are really good, and everyone who knows African football will say, well, perhaps they are deserving, but deserving is when you put the action on the pitch, and deserving is when you put in the work and then you make sure it happens. But then again, Egypt in the last 2 years have not been impressive. Truth is, they have not been impressive. Changing one manager to the other, and their national team, even at the African Cup of Nations, it's been scrappy wins for them. And Senegal have the slighter edge ahead of them going to that particular game. Well, it's up to Senegal not to turn up to the party against Egypt. They know they have to be at the African Cup of Nations. Well, we want the best teams representing at the World Cup. Well, Senegal have to turn up to the party because this is their golden age, and gradually, perhaps, just perhaps, Sadio Mane at 29 or 30, this perhaps could be his last chance to be at the World Cup. Now, do Egypt deserve to be there? Egypt themselves are undergoing some processes, and I feel the next World Cup isn't exactly the right moment to be at the world stage representing Africa. I feel, well, they have to do their structures right, and it goes beyond just Mohamed Salah stepping up to the day or performing. And I feel, well, Egypt that dominated Africa have not done things right in the last 2-3 years. And they have to come back good. They have to do their things right. They have to appoint the right players. If it's development of players that they have to go through, well, these days, a lot of African countries are developing players. There are a lot of foreign Africans within the African team, which changes the dynamics of how they play, or even how these days there are no Minos in African football. There are no Tahitis in African football. You have to step up to the occasion to deserve or warrant a place at the World Cup. And I think I'll favor per data, per statistics, I'll favor the Senegalese to go through. Well, they have not been. They did not really impress me at the African Cup of Nations, but I feel they still have some good players within their feet. They have players who can turn the game around. Unlike the Egyptian national team, where they'll be dependent so much on Mohamed Salah. We saw the game against Nigeria. I think taking that game as a sample, I feel the Egyptian team under Carlos Queiroz, have a lot of work to do, and Queiroz himself knows. He has a lot of work to do, and it only takes shape when they continue playing. Well, the World Cup is too early for the Egyptians.
I also have a feeling that he might lose his job before this playoff. Because if you look at how they've been playing and his fallout with the Egyptians, it's quite clear that if he fails to perform very well, when I say perform very well, means going perhaps semi-finals and standing a chance of winning the trophy, he will definitely struggle being there. And if you look at Senegal too, I think Aliou Cisse, I don't know, but I don't know. It looks like the Senegalese don't want to sack him, but are you still impressed with what he has done with his squad? Looking at the kind of players he has, he should be playing like the way the Nigerians are playing at the tournament. Don't you think so?
Yes, Aliou Cisse is one man the Senegalese want to stick to. He's a man of culture. He knows the terrain very well. And in the last 2 editions of African Cup of Nations, well, he's performed for them. Now, when you look at the very first time the Senegalese made it to the World Cup in years, it was Aliou Cisse who came in as a young manager and took them to the World Cup. So this time again, they'll be trusting him. They took him from nowhere and eventually made it to the World Cup. So, he's not won the African Cup of Nations. That will be a daunting task on him. This addition to win it. They have not been impressive. Truth is, they have not been impressive. Perhaps they are lacking a few key men in their team, and their team is not really gelling at the moment. But then again, the knockout stages of African Cup of Nations will come through. And I know Senegal, as a big team and as a big club in Africa, will step up to the occasion and make it to the semi-finals and even the finals of this year's edition.
So you are tipping Senegal to beat Egypt and make it to the World Cup?
Yes, I strongly feel they have to go. They have to go if you want the best representation in Africa. You know the argument I'm making. I'm making the argument based on statistics and data. But when it gets to Ghana, I'm not doing this.
So for you, and that would mean that the best player on the African continent will not be at the World Cup. Can you imagine a World Cup without Mohamed Salah?
True. The best player in Africa or perhaps the world won't be at the World Cup. But they are equally good players. Sadio is just behind Mohamed Salah. There will be Riyad Mahrez in the mix. There will be, for the Ivorians, there will be a lot of stars in the mix. So who knows? It all depends on who qualifies. The Ivorians are not making it.
Yeah, they are not part.
They are not part of it.
Yeah, they are not. So let's move to the next, which is Cameroon versus Algeria. Algeria will be coming back to Cameroon after having a poor outing at the African Cup of Nations. Do you in any way feel that Algeria's performance at the AFCON will have any effect on this particular tie?
Yes, it will have a positive effect on them. They'll come out into that tie as hungry lions. They know they have to qualify. And that won't be the good news for the the Cameroonians. I feel any of the big countries that have left the African Cup of Nations will have the slight edge because they know they have to step up to make their fans happy. Okay. And for Algeria, they know, well, there's an opportunity for us to go to the world stage and make a name for ourselves. Same as the Cameroonians. But when you look down the history order, Cameroon isn't really a side that the Algerians have had a good taste against. Algeria have been bullied by Cameroon in several years. And when you look at the history of Cameroon at their home ground, well, it's been massive. It makes the whole discussion very dicey because on one side, the Algerians are very solid unit. And then on the other side, there's the Cameroonians who have picked up right before the start of the African Cup of Nations, and will continue like that for them. And they have the backing of now their FA president is pushing so much cash into them. He's giving them a lot of confidence. He's had, the expatriates or the old players come into the national team to make effect on the national team. Then there is the Cameroon Rwanda factor. Now they've not lost a game to who God even knows when. And then Algerians know they are not the best of Algerians at the moment. Yeah. So Algerians have a point to prove. Cameroon have a statement to make. That's how it stands now. And it all happen. The showdown proper will happen if between now and March, the injuries that set into the squad, how the team will be able to rebound quickly to face each other. And let's see. It also depends on how far Cameroon can go in the African Cup of Nations. Yeah. If they are able to make a good statement or perhaps even win the African Cup of Nations, then it will be an affair of the old champions versus the defending champions, which will totally change the outcome of the game. It will be a very dicey game, a two-legged affair, but it will be a game that will fill the stadiums.
Yeah, a lot will change because if you look at Cameroon, they don't play that kind of exciting football. They don't dominate opponents, but they play with a sense of character. And I feel in playoffs like this, sometimes you don't need to be the best country. You just need to be the one with the character. Look at Ghana's game against Egypt when we beat them. We were not perhaps on paper, we were not exceptionally excellent that we were going to beat Egypt by 6, but because we had that character and we needed that qualifiers more than the Egyptians, that's what happened. And I feel if you look at who needs it the most, it might even go in the way of Cameroon because of Samuel Eto'o and the kind of football they play, the way they grind the results even when it's not coming. And if you ask me, I feel Cameroon perhaps might go past Algeria.
I just hope the goals of football will be fair to Algeria because Algeria really deserve to be there. And
they have a good team. They have a good team,
a solid team. They have to harness over the World Cup, and eventually, perhaps you can. Before the start of the African Cup of Nations, everyone was tipping Algeria to go to the World Cup and be the first African country to make the semi-finals because they have a solid unit. But the African Cup of Nations has changed the discussions in totality. So let's see.
Let's see what happens.
Now to March. Yeah.
DR Congo versus Morocco. DR Congo, I think they were lucky. They had a very favorable group and they took advantage of that and they're in the playoff. look at Morocco, one for Morocco, right?
Yes. Morocco themselves have done things right structurally, and well, that slightly tips them. Under Vahid, when you look at the history of Vahid and what he's done in African football, well, even at the African Cup of Nations this year, he's very impressive. He knows what he's about. One thing that really boosts the Moroccans, there's a saying that goes, defense wins you titles and attack wins you games. And Vahid has worked on his defensive issues. Well, when you have a player like Hakimi in your squad, then you know there's a deficit in your team. There is one who give you the attacking returns and one who give you the defensive returns. But Vahid has been able to structure his team perfectly. Now he's getting the defensive returns, not from Hakimi, because he has found balance within the team. And Hakimi can go forward, make the necessary passes for goals to come. And I strongly think Vahid, he's one man who gets you the point. He knows the terrain so well.
And we should also say that I'm sure with this playoff they will have the Chelsea star who was dropped ahead of the African Cup of Nations, and his presence will definitely make a mark for them. And
yes, he's a big factor in the setup for the Algerians. The Moroccans.
Moroccans, yeah.
I think it will be dependent on Hakim Ziyech, because Vahid is a stubborn man.
Yeah.
Especially because he's a stubborn man. And perhaps their target is to reach the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations this year. If he missed that target, it means Vahid is going to stay the extra time. Now, but to be up on Ziyech to come and apologize to the manager, he and Mazraoui, they have to come and apologize to the manager, or the FA have to step up and
have to look for a way and resolve it. Because you can't have a player like Hakim Ziyech and go into an important game like this and say, as I feel no matter what it is, Charlie, that's a big man.
The Moroccans are not scoring much. They are defending well. They are not scoring much. And when you look at their setup, if you had Hakim Ziyech in the setup, well, with all the freedom that the attackers get, I think they would have been scoring more because of the kind of football they play. They're scooping the balls, and Hakim will be a big differential for them if he's able to
join them.
Come back.
So you think it's a Morocco win, both leg, home and away?
It won't be a Morocco win both legs. I think Morocco themselves have the Mohammed V complex. They are very dominant, and any country that goes there is a fearsome ground anyway. It's not really the fearsome grounds like the Yaoundé pitches or even the Accra Sports Stadium or the Kumasi Sports Stadium, but they are trying to create, or they are trying to niche something at the Mohammed V Stadium, and then gradually will come to bear.
Okay. Mali, Tunisia. Mali, I feel they are doing something great. Like they are more structured, more organized. Tunisia, onto the Arab Cup. Like the Arab Cup, they were great. Went to the finals with Algeria, but at the African Cup of Nations, we are not still seeing them well. What do you make of that? I think going to be a KG one.
Yes, very KG affair. Before the draw came about, every Ghanaian wished it would be Ghana, Tunisia anyway. Because we know we can beat them. They are their side. They are a very good side, but we feel there are lapses within the team. There are lapses within the team that can be exploited. And well, they are still dependent on Wabi Kaju, who is a veteran player. It means they themselves structurally things are not going so well for them, and they have a lot of young boys coming within the ranks for them. I think they are trying to rebuild a new project for the young guys to come in about and make a statement for themselves. But the World Cup is far-reaching from them. I feel Mali this year, another calendar year, they have a lot of talent within the team that can step up to the occasions. Mali are playing good football, covering all the ground, even at the African Cup of Nations. When you look at their heat maps and the kind of players they possess, well, it's talent from goalkeeping
Goalkeeper,
department.
like
to
the
the midfielders. The midfield is even worse because it's a star-studded midfield, a very young star-studded midfield. Well, the North Africans also have an edge over the West Africans, slight edge, but I don't think Tunisia. It's when you talk about the North Africans, in just recent times that Algeria have come to the party with North Africans dominating West Africans, but Tunisia have not been the best North African country bullying the West Africans. I think it should be a walkover for the Malians if they really have to. But first, they have to really step up to the party, come to the party, and make sure they dominate the game, cover all the grounds. And one thing they're also good at is defending. They are very solid defensively. All boils out the kind of defensive midfielders they have.
They have, and if you watch them and if you watch how they play, I feel they are side that have that ability to go past any opponents. They have that strong edge of dominating you. It just goes that they struggle to score, but I think they can in these legs they can just put one behind you and they will defend till Kingdom come. And scoring Tunisia a goal is not, because Tunisia themselves don't score much. They don't score a lot of goals themselves. And I think
they don't create much. Tunisia stand the chance if the young boys, like I stated, the young boys have to players like Hannibal Mejbri, who is a fantastic young lad, have to step out to the party and make their statement. But if judging from the African Cup of Nations, he's not had the best of tournament.
So last fixture, perhaps the fixture of rivals, like when we say rivals, like friends and enemies, like you don't know how to describe the Ghana versus Nigeria. Someone say the jollof for the Shatawale versus Burna Boy beef. Like there are so many beef between Ghana and Nigeria. Ghana must go. An opportunity for Ghana to play against Nigeria. The last time we played was somewhere 2011. Let's talk about this fixture itself. Like considering everything, and it's like an interesting one.
Yes, Nigeria, the proper rivalry, not the South African rivalry. Proper rivalry. It's something we're told of when we're kids, and growing up, your mom would tell you, well, the Nigerians are our rivals. And then growing up, I think we saw the CAN 2008 here in Ghana. That was a proper rivalry. First, and the tackles, everything from yellow cards to everything. You could just see the reactions, and they will tell you the stories that dates back to the 90s where little issues happen between Nigeria and Ghana. It goes from economic standpoint to
political to music,
social standpoint, political. Then it happens on the pitch. And as a rivalry we are told of as kids, and we love it. Nigerians have gone more to become our friends. They live here in Ghana. We are free with them. We enjoy everything with them. They even enjoy Ghana than Nigeria. So the rivalry will still be there. It's a friendly rivalry, but it's a rivalry that everyone will talk about when we're on the pitch. And to be honest, Tunisia would have been an easy catch. Algeria would have been a hard catch. Senegal, same. But the fact that Nigeria played against Ghana, all of a sudden, Ghanaians have hope that, well, because of the rivalry, we might just put. Because rivals don't know games. Rivalry doesn't know games. It just happens once.
And if you check the timeline, like the conversation on Twitter and social media, and even the news, like after the AFCON, everyone was angry at the Black Stars, and we said our team is not good. All of a sudden, we all have a strong belief that we can beat Nigeria, no matter how good Nigeria have been performing. And it's interesting that the conversation has moved from having a bad squad to we go beat Nigeria.
Yes, because everyone who's watched Nigeria, the Black Stars play, it's almost like, apart from the CAN 2008 thereabouts where Ghana had a relatively good squad, it's always been, well, the Nigerians always have some stars in the team that always seem to tickle for them or it takes for them. But anytime they face Ghana, then the rivalry sets in, and the Nigerians are not able to control it. You look at this young squad that Nigerians have, and well, if Ghana is supposed to play the competition with their old guys, that's the Wakasus, and that's when you see the real passion of the game, and that's when the young boys will be able to unsettle within the game. But here again, Ghana wants to rebuild, and well, Ghana is a wounded lion like the Algerians themselves, because you have been knocked out of the African Cup of Nations. And any manager, any coach that takes care of the Black Stars, first duty would be to beat Nigerians. If he beats the Nigerians and makes to the World Cup, already has won the hearts of Ghanaians advance. And as much as the Nigerians are playing so well, they are playing good football. Well, they have a coach in him now. They trust that, well, we can really do something, but strongly. It's from the patriotic part of me. But the statistical point or the data point to tell you, well, the Nigerians have a higher edge over the Black Stars.
Yeah. And I want us to go into that part, because if you look at, let's say, Ghana, there is in the news that perhaps we might sack our coach, or the coach has already been sacked, not confirmed by the FA yet. Nigeria have an interim coach who seems to be doing a great job with them. Augustine Iguavo doing an excellent job. But if you look at the kind of football the Nigerians are playing at the African Cup of Nations and the kind of football Ghana played at the African Cup of Nations, based on recent performance, it's going the Nigerian way, isn't it? Based on recent performance,
yes,
not because you're a Ghanaian.
Yes, not because I'm a Ghanaian. It's going the favor of, like I'm saying, they have a young squad. They are playing free-flowing football, but truth is, they have not been really tested much. As it stands, they have not been really tested. And the real test will come when they face the best. Tunisia will be a big test for them.
But they played Egypt. They played Egypt. Or you don't think Egypt is good enough?
Egypt wasn't a really all-round team. They wanted to depend on their focal point, who is Mohamed Salah. I think we all were discussing the fact that the Black Stars will have an edge over the Gabonese if Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was in the squad. Now, it was true, because if Aubameyang was in the squad, then they have to play the ball to Aubameyang. That's when the Ghanaians can grab Aubameyang and then the attack stops. But when you have the whole squad, that everyone plays for the team, then it changes. The dynamics is like that. And well, from now, it all depends on Ghana to do their things right. And from now to, let's say, March, about when we play, if Ghana can set out their structures right and the players feel more, well, there's an opportunity to play and make a name for ourselves, because the World Cup is the biggest stage that you can make a name for yourself. Transfer-wise, monetary-wise, even for your club, you can even play the World Cup and then get a good move from your club that you're playing.
Kelvin Prince-Boateng is a classical example.
Yes, Kelvin knows when he has to join the Black Stars.
And
when
now,
he was back.
Yeah, now he. It looks as if he wants to be around. Like he wants to be around. But
it will be good as it stands. It will be good if he's around. But then again, we need to set our processes right. If we set the processes right, no one can come into the team and disrespect the manager, or no one can come into the team and do the wrong.
You think Kelvin Prince-Boateng is a good position to play football?
Strongly no. Truth is no. That with the current standing of the Black Stars, where we don't really have the focal point to play to, I think Kelvin has played all those roles, and Kelvin has the experience enough to come in and make something for himself. That is if we are still going back to the old way. That is if you are not adopting a new model. If you are adopting a new style or a project that the FA wants to go this way, strongly. I'm not someone who will say the squad is bad because the manager picked certain players or not. If the decisions go wrong, then we can discuss.
Same here.
When he picks the squad, he knows why he's picked the squad. Devoid of all the rumors and that. But if it goes well, I'll be the same person.
I think I also hold the same opinion that the manager makes the decision. He knows the kind of players he thinks he can play with. So I usually don't criticize coaches and their starting 11 until the game is over. just like this, Milo goes, it's over now. We can all come together and say, why did you call this person? Why did you call this? Why did you fail this one? But if he ends up winning, if he decides to play defenders beginning to end and he goes and bring the trophy, that's him, So I think I also hold that opinion. But so for you, you think Ghana, Nigeria will be a Ghana win? Not because you're a Ghanaian, but because of what? Someone say because of why?
Because of the why is comes in because the rivalry throws away statistics, the rivalry throws away form. The rivalry again, there's an issue of the Black Stars who need to rebuild. Now the rebuilding process will start with an immediate search for victory. That will be over the Nigerians. And I strongly think the two-legged tie will start from Ghana. Ghana, well, everyone is asking, can the game be played in Kumasi? If the structures are done right before the World Cup, then if Kumasi is ready to host those games, then it can happen in Kumasi. Yeah, then you can have full stadium. You can have the full stadium.
I don't know. I think when it comes to the stadium change, it was because Ghana presented stadium for the venues, and if only we can have the opportunity to change venues before the competition, or we will just go and say that Cape Coast is not ready. Like we just have to, because now we presented Cape Coast an alternative to Accra Sports Stadium, so Kumasi not part of what we presented. But if CAF will give an opportunity for stadium change,
I think I'll take Accra Sports Stadium over Kumasi Sports Stadium, because I know Ghana, Nigeria. Yes, no. Not the pitch wise.
The location.
The mere fact that yes, the location.
No, but
the mere fact that
Accra has a lot of Nigerians around.
Yes.
Kumasi is better. Kumasi, they love watching football and they will go in their numbers. There are a lot of Nigerians are not in Kumasi that much. Accra, it will be for everybody, don't you think?
Yeah, it will be for everybody in Accra. But when you go to Kumasi, which you suggested the alternative for Cape Coast will be Accra.
Yeah, that is what is Kumasi. Yes, that's what.
Yes, that's what is instituted. So it's very different. The FA can try and take the game to Kumasi, and if the CAF review committee can come and then look at that, fine. If it happens, fine. But I'll suggest that Cape Coast will be a no man's land, or it won't be so much for Nigerians, but then we can have a lot of Ghanaians. The question will be, would a lot of Ghanaians go into the stadiums and patronize that particular game?
Yeah, whenever Ghana plays Nigeria, you can even buzz the students to go, but if it's in Accra, I think Accra is too close for the Nigerians. Like, you get me? Like, it's too close.
Yes.
They'll just go to the place very quick. But Cape Coast, they will struggle,
Yes, true. But I'm thinking about the other possibility that Cape Coast, they'll struggle to go to Cape Coast. But if we know Ghanaians can fill up the Accra Sports Stadium, because the Accra Sports Stadium might be quite inspiring than the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. And I feel Accra holds a lot of culture. Accra holds a lot of, the glamour, all the glamour is within Accra. And if it's played within Accra, it will be as flamboyant as it comes. And they'll have a lot of supporters. As much as we can have about 20,000 Nigerians in the stands, if they are outnumbered, which they would, I still think the Black Stars will have the edge over them. But Kumasi is the favorite choice, and then the others will come in.
Okay. I think we are wrapping up. So just to wrap up, Egypt, Senegal, you are going for Senegal.
Yeah.
Cameroon, Algeria. Algeria. DR Congo,
Morocco.
Mali, Tunisia.
Mali.
Ghana versus Nigeria versus South Africa. The South Africans will support the Nigerians. So
what's hurting is we are out of the African Cup of Nations, and then we make it to the World Cup. The particular one they want us out. That's when we make it to the World Cup. Yeah. If it was South Africa playing Nigeria, it would have been a walkover for the Nigerians, because the Nigerians can mastermind the plan to beat them, and then it will be very evident that the South Africans are not prepared for the World Cup enough. And I'll strongly tell the South Africans to let it go. It's football. It happens every time.
To everybody. So
if you went to their favor,
they would have been happy. Ghana, Nigeria, Ghana, not because you're a Ghanaian, but because it's a rivalry game and anything can happen. It's not based on form.
No, it doesn't. The rivalry doesn't discuss form.
Okay, so as a result, the Black Stars should be able to beat them.
Yes.
Thanks, man. We thanks for joining us. It's been a good conversation, good discussion. We've enjoyed ourselves. Pleasure to have you around. Hopefully, we're going to do this often, and hopefully, we're going to have a conversation more. So, guys, this was a quick analysis that we did so far as the playoff to Qatar 2022 is concerned. Now it's time for us to decide who represents Africa in the African Cup of Nations, in the World Cup, I should say. Time for us to separate the boys from the men. There'll be no chance. There'll be a chance that Mohamed Salah or Ida Sadio Mane will be there. A chance for Black Stars to perhaps make a good name for themselves again. A chance for Nigeria also to stand a chance of perhaps representing Africa at the world stage. My name is Delali Frankauti. This is my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed the conversation, let me hear what you think. Who do you think might stand a chance of qualifying? Nigeria, Ghana, who stands a chance? Mane, Mohamed Salah, who also stand a chance of qualifying? Let me know what you also think. But until we meet again, subscribe to the channel, like, hit on the notification button, be part of the community, and let's have fun. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.